And that leaves one last demo for me to look at, and chances are I might come back to this particular demo because it's fairly meaty, all things considered, for like a dedicated stream. Well, provided it works for that long. I'm crossing my fingers. Considering this game is supposedly, I think, is also going to release later this year. And I happen to be a sucker for the series that it's emulating bits and pieces of. That series being Rune Factory. You heard me right. Something emulating bits of Rune Factory. And come to think of it, it was actually because of that reason that I ended up finding it in the first place. Like, I was on a big Rune Factory binge, and I was playing a lot of RF3 on, like, DS. And I happened to come across Kitaria Fables, which is very inspired by Rune Factory type of thing. So much so, well, this is the other demo that I was actually able to try. And I got addicted to it. I sat down and played it for like a good 2 hours before I realized, oh shit, I need to go to bed. I also skipped story, so legends speak of a time that Kanoadera faced calamity. Once docile monsters were driven into a violent rage by a mysterious power. Brave heroes assembled to protect the people. After an arduous battle, the monsters were defeated, and the mysterious power subsided. Oh, you have no idea, Daniel. People returned to their normal lives, and peace was restored. Or so we thought. There have been whispers of the calamity returning once more, with no heroes remaining to fight against it. What is the cause of this mysterious power? Will Kanoadera ever truly be at peace? We've been searching for hours and we still can't find the village. Actually, I think background is a girl. Hold on. We've been searching for hours and we still can't find the village. I'm so tired. Are you sure the Commander Blue gave us the right directions? I'm starting to doubt it. What did we do wrong that you'd send us so far from the capital? The capital, huh? Gosh. So, Kitaria Fables. Oh, oops. Sorry about that. And again, what were you trying to cook, anyway? Wandering around in unfamiliar places is quite dangerous, don't you think? We should be prepared for anything, you know, in case the monsters decide to ambush us. Of course, I'm hoping that doesn't happen. You should equip your weapon before we move on. This game has full controller support, and I'd also like to mention that both, if I remember correctly, both this and also Unsighted are scheduled to release on Switch, but Kitaria Fables also is scheduled to have like a PS4 release too, I think. It's a very cute and cuddly game, and again, a lot of comparisons can be made to Rune Factory, and I'm going to be I'm going to be gushing over it. Chicken strips with teriyaki sauce and flat pasta. Oh, that sounds nice. Some gooeyes are surrounding someone. They aren't usually so aggressive toward people. Gosh, look at that poor kid. What do we do? I don't know! What do you mean you don't know? Have you forgotten what Commander Blue always told us about helping people in need? Gosh. What? To be honest, the only qualm I have with this game is combat is a little stiff, if that makes sense. Like, you're heavily encouraged to hold the buttons down as opposed to spam them when attacking. Once you finally get used to it, it feels really natural, but me being the person I am, I'm used to Rune Factory, where it's just where you have to constantly mash the button to perform attacks, and there's like a charged hold attack as well. At that, it's also kind of annoying that there's only technically 2 types of weapons and a whole bunch of magic. I do like that system, but I don't know, I wish I could use a spear. But unfortunately, sword and bow are your only real weapon options. There is quite a flexible magic system, though. Hell, we might not even get to it by the time, time ends. Introducing main hub of sorts. Paw Village. Also, prepared to be struck dead by how many fun names there are. Well, either puns or just plain adorable names. Case in point, the mayor's name is Oliver. Pretty simple name, but just goats. Also, main character's name, Nyanza von Whiskers. Just let that sit. Nyanza von Whiskers. It's the dumbest cute name you can ever think of. And there's more, too. Like, case in point here, actually. Uncle Payne, his full name is given later. Payne Thunderbun. Oh, case in point. Payne Thunderbun. Just... some of these names are just too derp. But yeah, the whole combat and magic system isn't the only thing that seems really familiar to to veterans of Rune Factory. There's a farming system. And it really does feel a lot like Rune Factory too. Like, over here is an entire field where you can grow some crops and whatnot. Can't access this chest quite yet, because it's locked to a side quest. But once we're able to, we can actually get some farming tools, grow crops. Also, there's some customizability. Again, you're completely restricted to playing as a cat, and there is a story reason for it. I still wish I could, like, get some raccoon-like patterns for Nyanza here. This game is just really chill and like Rune Factory. It's just one of those games that you could easily just sit down and relax with. Alright, get the shit that's, oh rip, Pie River. Food items are your main way of healing within this game, and again, like with Rune Factory, some of them have additional effects. Case in point, crap, I didn't mean to eat that. Case in point, milk. Drink it to increase your movement speed for a little bit. And also recover some HP. This particular demo is somewhat meaty, if I remember correctly. Like, again, I only did like 2 hours of it. A good chunk of it was dying and trying to beat a specific enemy. We might even see it. Actually, this thing. Don't try to fight it immediately. It will wipe the floor with you. It doesn't take much damage from sword swings. And a single attack can chunk out a good 30 of health. If you can beat it, you can get a decent recovery item out of it. I waited until I had access to magic first. Because the first spell is fairly usable. And yet another similarity to Rune Factory. There are weapon techniques. Such as... Oh, hold on a moment. Come on. Such as this one. Rapid flurry of stabs that deals decent damage to your targets. Unlike Rune Factory, though, where rune points are fairly limited and the only way to restore them is food items, your RP, your quote-unquote RP in this game is 10 points that you can refresh by attacking targets. At that, techniques have cooldown timers. Ah. That way, you cannot just spam out your techniques and damage rush everything. You need to have some semblance of tactics. Also, unlike Rune Factory, there are chests in places. You also can't dodge roll forever. There's stamina. Be mindful of it. There's also no XP system, I don't think. There could be, and I just haven't been paying attention to it. There is, like, an entire list of statistics, though. And yes, they change with equipment. Couple apples in there. Also, currency, paw pennies. How adorable. Deliver a package to Sage Albie. Relatively simple quest. Actually, thanks to not dying, I'm moving at this faster than I thought I would. There is a day and night system within this game, and at that, different monsters do appear depending on the time of day. If I remember correctly, around these fields, you can start to see bats at night. And at that, just more enemies across the board. Sage Albie. Polar bear! A fairly aloof polar bear that maybe needs a bottle of cola. Silence. You what? It really is. Just the aesthetic of this game is just so adorable. course, there are hints in places of something much darker. But across the board, it's just so cute. Just want to reach into the TV or monitor and give everything a little head pat. And if we return this book and chase after with a few events, then we gain the ability to use our first magic spell. Because the book is a spell tome. As Tim explains here. Yeah, as it turns out, our uncle happens to be one of the few mages that exist. And fortunately, you're of the bloodline of mages as well. Again, hints of darker things. You need to be of specific bloodlines in order to be able to use magical abilities. In this current day and age, mages are incredibly rare. Almost non-existent. And what mages do exist are treated really poorly. Did you make the correct decision? Do you desire to unleash the power within you? I wish only for your safety, after all. Fireball. There are 4 different elements of magic within this game. Fire, wind, earth, water. Sadly, no nature. It depresses me every time. But I can tell at least, earth magic seems to be somewhat revolving around poison more than anything. But the spells in this game all have their own uses, strengths and weaknesses. Case in point, Fireball here. After a short cast time, you fling out 3 projectiles at a target, and have a chance to set them ablaze. Enemies that are burning take steady damage over time for a duration. It's a really useful technique. Actually, it was about at this point that I decided to take on that, quote-unquote boss mob. And you can do it, if you're careful. chip damage from your fire spell is more than enough to compensate for your sword swings. And at that, it's projectile. The other weapon type that you can get within this game, other than a whole mess of spells and, well, swords, is a bow. It's simple, sure, but it's effective. Done with art? Great King Leonidas. I wonder what animal they are. Also, they mentioned orcs and hyenas. I just realized that. Monsters are somewhat affected by mysterious relics. Cooking. Okay. Well, cooking can be an art. Have you seen some of the things that get made on, like, Great British Baking Show? Or Chopped. Man, it's been a while since I've seen a good cooking... since I've seen a good cooking contest show. Arts and crafts mac and cheese. Yeah, you're not wrong. That's art too. Yeah, it's heavily implied here that the Empire really doesn't take kindly to mages. Also, from now on, skills exist. There are a whole bunch of things you need in order to not just power up skills you have, but also learn new ones. Actually, I might be able to show that off if we can get to the dungeon fast enough. To be honest, I might go like 15 minutes over time. Yeah. Because, again, this particular demo is fairly meaty. 2 hours in put me only slightly past the first dungeon, and a couple quests past. Also, look at that damage. Totally doable. Actually, I have enough time. Ow! That's what I get for not being careful. Oh boy! Don't get hit too many times in a row. It's stunning. Aren't we cunning? Come on. Ah. Fireball spell is also really useful in that it has an innate knockback property. So if you find yourself about to get hit and out of stamina, charge that up with good timing, and you might be able to push the enemy away. There's also a lock-on mechanic that you can use, in case your projectile seems to go on. What? Excuse me! Excuse me! Not one, but two 180s. Okay. Okay, game. Okay. Actually, that never happened to me before. Animatic assault, so I'm gonna need to buy up more. This game isn't exactly unforgiving with money, too. Because in normal Rune Factory, pretty much the only two ways you could get money were either by selling things or by side quests. In this game, there are destructible bits here and there, and especially so in dungeons, that can give you cash. Yeah, maybe I was just, like, way too close for my own good. That's what I get for underestimating my enemy. But regardless, don't need to kill him or anything like that. Ah! Come on! Rule 1 of adventure gaming! This should be a safe zone! Not really. That's my own damn fault. Because there is no such thing as pausing time in this game. Again, like with Rune Factory. Actually, no, that's technically a lie. Time does pause while you're in a menu there. Also, bats. You can beat them up for a whole bunch of items, including apples. Bah. Whoop. 5, whoop. 2, 3. A few more apples. While I'm at it, I should probably, like, map those. It's tiny healing, but it's something. Yes! Bat moves. Make your Zubat jokes here. They're nowhere near as annoying. They don't have a supersonic attack, fortunately. Ah. Boxing. Also, another new enemy. Shroomish! Really wide area of attack, but other than that, not much appealing. Boxes. Boxes. Matter. I don't know if there are things such as, like, elemental weaknesses and resistances of enemies. That's something I wanna, like, test out with some But one of the big selling points of this game is customizability, and there are a lot of different spells that you can learn to try and support that, essentially. It would be nicer if there were more weapon types than just swords, but hey. This game is still in development, and I think it's going to release as an early access. I can hope for my precious pole arms. Only not get them. Actually, come to think of it, in Fruit Factory, spheres were only introduced in RF3, if I remember correctly. Because... okay, I've played RF1 and RF2 through non-legitimate means. And in those games, RF1 was pretty much just swords, and that's it. RF2 added a few other types of swords, and that was it. Also, need keys. Keys exist, and they're a bit of a pain to craft, because they require at least a few different materials, among which being ore. On the bright side, though, unlike Rune Factory, again, ore seems to refresh. Actually, no, wait, ore refreshed in Rune Factory. What am I talking about? Hey. That. Am I missing an enemy or something? Yes, I am. Whoop. There we go. Now we can proceed. Specifically, proceed to the boss. Which, I hope you like mushrooms, because someone decided to put Mushroom Man in their deck. Like, seriously, who decides to use Mushroom Man? This guy's got some pretty intimidating attacks, all things considered, but he's a pushover. I mean that. If you die to this thing, you must be suffering lag. Or be new to action games. Because that I can notice, at least, there isn't exactly modular difficulty with this game. I hope there is. Yeah, once you take him out, you get a copper key, some pennies, and more importantly, an enigmatic stone. A relic of power. Ah, there's also a quick point so you can head back to Paw Village easily. Really handy. Really good design decision. And I think I have just enough time in the night to go over to the Sage and turn in the Rune. Wow. Actually, I can make a double joke. I can make a double joke here. Turn in my sister to the Sage. She couldn't bear to be there. And for those who don't get it, my sister goes by the name Rune. Take me to Suplex City. Yeah, the unfortunate part about this is, after the side quest, you pretty much are forced to go back home, if I remember correctly. You might have noticed a copper chest within Sage's house. We could technically loot that now. It contains a hat. A hat to boost your magical attack, actually. So, pick it up. Pick it up. At that, this game handles crafting differently than Rune Factory 2. In order to get the things you want, you need to talk to the specific merchant that sells it, and at that, quote-unquote sells the ability for you to craft it. As opposed to Rune Factory, where you need to, like, grind up your crafting levels individually, and either know the recipes by heart, and their levels, or otherwise learn them through side quests and what have you. So again, this game is like Rune Factory, but it's simplified in places, which is both good and bad, honestly. Again, since customizability is the thing they're shooting for, well, this specific dev team, rather, more weapon types than just sword, bow, magic. That's my only gripe. To properly support flexible gameplay styles, there needs to be more than just swords. Even then, I'm still gonna keep this game on my wish list. Because it's a really cute and interesting game. Also, another reason why it's important your main character is a cat. Dogs! Adorable Dober guard without head fur. Its head looks so bald! 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 I'm sorry, someone had to. But yeah, now we have some side quests that opened up. The first of which being some proper gardening. Now, it isn't exactly explained to you where these tools are. Again, they're in the chest that was previously locked. And they only unlocked, I noticed, after you take that side quest, I think. This chest here. And you got a few tools to take with you, too. It's also a free chest, so if your inventory is filling up with a whole bunch of materials, feel free to store them away. Oh, shoot, I need those carrot seeds. So, introducing our tools, the hoe. Very cheap, easy to find on street corners, and wait, wrong hoe. Swing it, and you create tilled land where you swing it. 8. 10. That should be more than enough. We don't have nearly that many seeds. Next up, the pick. Breaks rocks. It takes a while. Higher upgrades of the pick do it faster and give you better yields on rocks. Of course, smaller rocks take less picks. Or less swings of the pick to mill. Farming axe. Breaks apart random wood rubble. It also allows you to cut down trees. That. Piece of planting. Didn't need to use that. And the last tool I can show off for now, at least, the watering can. One last time, just like Rune Factory, waters the square that you're standing on. Make sure to refill it after using it a certain amount of times. And there's a well where you could do that. A well. Gardening in Rune Factory games is very important because it's your main source of creating useful items. And that's no different here. Because again, your recipes are locked to the shops. So if you go over to the blacksmith, then you can create arms, provided you have the materials. And if anything, I think I might have the materials for a bow, but we're pretty much coming up to the end of the time. Oh, no, I'm missing the wood, at least. You know what? I'll at least make the bow and show that off. You need not just materials, but also money to do your crafting, so pay mind to that. Let's see, grab that. Oh, I need the axe. Use that gun. Damn it. That's the hoe. What am I doing? Considering how often I keep misplacing that for the pick and the other tools, yes, I am a hoe. Yes, I am a farming implement. Used to till soil. But yeah, the materials that you can get around Paw Village do refund after a day or two, I believe. So go nuts with them. Also, look out for things that glow, because those are the materials that you can actually farm up. Never mind, this isn't glowing and I could still beat the shit out of it. Nah. Timber! Enough wood now, or one shy? Really? Fine, I'll beat up another tree then. Eh. 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 There we go. Craft up the bow. The The bow is the generic ranged weapon. Hold down the button, you shoot. And this and your magic is also the reason why the walk-off function exists, because without it, you're just gonna be firing in the direction you're facing. It's decent range damage, all things considered. I think it's maybe slightly lesser than the sword, but it's still going to be very useful at taking out enemies, and yeah. Have it quick mapped for the cases when you might need it. Especially early game. But yeah, with that settled, I think that's about where I'm gonna end this, quote-unquote celebration of Steam Summer Festival. For those who dropped by, Daniel included, thank you so much. I appreciate the support I get with these streams. Tune in next week, Saturdays from 9 AM EDT to noon for random games. Usually I take suggestions, but sometimes I just play whatever I feel like it. If you could flag me on Discord or Twitter via the tag Sage of Magi, I'm usually fairly attentive to it. Anything free, a little faster to take a look at. But also bear in mind, I do my own fact-checking, and if something looks sus, I'm going to exercise my right to refuse. Otherwise, tune in Sundays, 6 PM EDT to 10 for game clearing. Currently, it's Trials of Mana, but that should be ending within a week or two, hopefully. If at any point you miss any of these streams, don't worry. They stay up on Twitch for a couple weeks at Sage of Magi, again, for Twitch. Then get ported off to YouTube, a dedicated channel by the name Sage Blake. You can also find other videos on there too, such as Sage After, a dedicated Sonic and Amateur Games Expo after coverage series. And actually, come to think of it, I have something to upload for that soon. Like, really soon. And as two last items, anything that I end up drawing or writing ends up getting posted onto my DeviantArt page, Sage of Magi, one last time. And at that, feel free to check out the card game that I'm currently making, Project Remem or Riken's Memoria. It's a free mod for Tabletop Simulator. But with all things settled, I think it's about time I return to my void. And again, I'll look at you now.